Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report, your #1 destination for breaking news, insider updates, and deep dive analysis on our Chicago Bears. This is where Bears Nation comes to get the truth, the real story behind every move, every decision, and every shift in momentum. And believe me, what I'm about to discuss with you today is sending shockwaves through the entire organization and has fans debating like never before. Something is happening in Chicago right now that nobody saw coming at the start of this season. A shift is taking place, a changing of the guard that has the potential to redefine how this offense operates for years to come. We're talking about a situation that involves millions of dollars, veteran expectations, and a 7th-round draft pick who's making it impossible for the coaching staff to ignore him. The numbers don't lie, the film doesn't lie, and Bears Nation has already made their voice heard loud and clear about what they want to see happen next. Before I dive into the specifics, let me set the stage for you, because understanding where we are right now is crucial to grasping why this conversation is even happening. The Chicago Bears currently have the 2nd-ranked rushing attack in the entire NFL. That's right, 2nd in the league with 142.3 rushing yards per game. Ben Johnson has built an offensive system that's physical, creative, and relentless on the ground. This isn't the Bears offense we've suffered through in recent years. This is a legitimate ground game that's striking fear into opposing defenses week after week. Think back to the offseason. Think back to all those conversations we were having about the running back position. DeAndre Swift was coming off a season that left a lot to be desired, and Bears Nation was practically begging Ryan Poles to invest an early-round pick on a game-changing running back. Names like Ashton Jeanty and Travion Henderson were being thrown around constantly. Fans wanted a fresh start, a new face to carry this offense into the future. But Poles didn't go that route. He didn't use a 1st or 2nd-round pick on a running back. Instead, he waited until the 7th round and selected Kyle Monai out of Rutgers. At the time, most people viewed it as a depth move, a developmental project, maybe a special teams contributor, if we were lucky. Nobody expected Monai to come in and immediately challenge for significant playing time. Nobody expected him to be anything more than a practice squad guy who might get a few carries in garbage time. But here's the thing about football. Talent always finds a way to rise to the surface. And Kyle Monai has talent that can't be hidden, can't be denied, and can't be ignored any longer. Let's talk about what Monai has done through 12 weeks of this season. 99 carries for 461 yards and 4 touchdowns. But here's the stat that really jumps off the page: 4.7 yards per carry. That's elite efficiency, folks. That's the kind of production that makes offensive coordinators salivate. That's the kind of consistency that wins football games. When you can consistently get almost 5 yards every single time you hand the ball off, you're not just moving the chains, you're controlling the game. You're wearing down defenses. You're setting up play action. You're making everything else in the offense easier. Now, I'm not here to disrespect DeAndre Swift. Let's be clear about that. Swift has had a solid season by most standards. 142 carries for 649 yards and 4 touchdowns with a 4.6 yards per carry average. Those are respectable numbers. That's the kind of production that Ryan Poles envisioned when he signed Swift to a 3-year, $24 million contract back in 2024. Swift brought veteran experience, pass-catching ability, and the kind of resume that suggested he could be a legitimate workhorse back in this offense. But then Week 12 happened. The game against the Pittsburgh Steelers exposed something that's been bubbling under the surface for weeks now. Swift carried the ball 8 times for just 15 yards and lost a fumble. 8 carries for 15 yards. That's less than 2 yards per carry against a Steelers defense that's tough but not impenetrable. And that fumble, that's the kind of mistake that can cost you games in December when every single play matters. Meanwhile, Monai was running with power, vision, and efficiency that made everyone watching take notice. The performance gap in that game wasn't subtle. It wasn't a matter of interpretation or advanced analytics. It was right there on the field for everyone to see. Monai was hitting holes with authority, breaking tackles, and consistently gaining positive yardage. He looked like the more explosive back, the more decisive back, and frankly, the back who gave this offense the best chance to sustain drives and put points on the board. And Bears Nation noticed. A recent poll asked fans a simple question: should Kyle Monai take over as the Bears' RB1 for the rest of the season? The results were overwhelming. We're not talking about a slim majority here. We're talking about a landslide of support for making Monai the featured back moving forward. When your fan base speaks that clearly, when the consensus is that strong, it's hard to ignore. Here's where this gets really interesting from a strategic standpoint. The Bears are in a position where they need to make decisions that maximize their chances of winning right now, while also keeping an eye on the future. Swift is under contract, and there's real money invested in him. But football is a meritocracy, especially when you're trying to build a winning culture. If Monai is the better back right now, if he's giving the offense the best chance to succeed, then he needs to be on the field regardless of draft position or contract status. Ben Johnson didn't get to where he is by being sentimental or by worrying about hurt feelings. He's going to play the guys who give his offense the best chance to execute his system at the highest level. And based on what we've seen over the past few weeks, especially in that Steelers game, Monai is making a compelling case that he's that guy. His 4.7 yards per carry compared to Swift's 4.6 might seem like a small difference on paper, but when you factor in the volume, the consistency, and the eye test, the gap becomes more significant. There's also the fumble issue with Swift. Ball security is non-negotiable in this league. One fumble can change the entire trajectory of a game, can cost you a playoff spot, can be the difference between a winning season and another year of disappointment. When you have a rookie who's protecting the football and a veteran who's putting it on the ground in crucial moments, that factors into the decision-making process. Looking ahead to Week 13 against the Philadelphia Eagles, it's anyone's guess how Johnson's going to handle the running back rotation. The Eagles have a formidable defense, and this game is going to require the Bears to be at their absolute best in all three phases. The ground game will be crucial to controlling the clock, keeping the Eagles' offense off the field, and setting up manageable third downs. So the question becomes, who do you trust to carry that load? From where I'm sitting, the momentum is clearly shifting toward Monai. The production speaks for itself. The efficiency is undeniable. And most importantly, Bears Nation has made it crystal clear who they want to see carrying the rock. This isn't about disrespecting what Swift has done or pretending he hasn't contributed. This is about recognizing that sometimes a seventh-round pick comes in and proves he belongs, proves he's special, proves he's ready to be the guy right now. The beauty of this situation, and why I'm actually optimistic about it, is that it represents depth and competition. Having two running backs who can produce at a high level is a luxury in this league. But when you have a young player emerging who might actually be better than the veteran you're paying, that creates a fascinating dynamic. It forces the coaching staff to make tough decisions, but those are the kinds of decisions that winning organizations have to make. If Monai does take over as the primary back, and I think there's a very real possibility that happens sooner rather than later, it changes the trajectory of this offense and this franchise. It means we found a legitimate starting caliber running back in the 7th round. It means Ryan Poles hit on another late-round pick. It means we have a cost-controlled, young, explosive playmaker who can be a cornerstone of this offense for years to come. That's the kind of development that accelerates a rebuild and turns a good team into a great one. So here's my take as we head into this crucial stretch of the season. Kyle Monai has earned more opportunities. He's earned the chance to show he can handle a full workload. And if he continues to produce at this level, if he continues to run with that combination of power and efficiency, then the coaching staff needs to ride the hot hand. This isn't about politics or contracts or draft capital. This is about winning football games, and right now, Monai looks like the back who gives us the best chance to do that. Now I want to hear from you, Bears Nation. Do you think Kyle Monai should be the starting running back for the rest of this season? Are you ready to see him get 20-plus carries a game? And what should the Bears do with DeAndre Swift moving forward? Is he still a valuable piece of this offense, or is it time to explore other options? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I read every single one and I want to know where you stand on this massive decision. If you're enjoying this kind of in-depth analysis and you want to stay plugged in to every move the Bears make, every roster decision, every strategic shift as we push through this season, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. This is Bears News Fan Report, and we're here every day bringing you the insights and updates you need to stay ahead of the curve. Let's go Bears. Bear down, always. See you in the next one.